There's a lot of discussion about the drop-off of women in the workforce once they have kids. How do you think mentorship can change that and keep them engaged or bring them back in once they have children?
So how long you're going to take off work when you go on maternity leave, or if you're going to come back even, is such a personal choice. And it's something that only you can make, right? And you and your family can make in whatever your circumstances are. For me, I have 2 children. I was lucky enough to be able to take 5 months off each for both of my maternity leaves. I had, the company I worked for at the time had a good maternity leave policy, and we are lucky that we have the California family leave here. And after 5 months, I mean, most amazing experience that ever happened to me, but after 5 months, I was ready to go back to work. And I have an identical twin sister, and we're actually very similar. But she took several years off to look after her kids. She took time out of her career, and I so admire her for that. I mean, being at home with young children all day is not easy. You don't get a break. And I say that she was the working mum, right? So I just want to say that, because it is a very personal choice. But as far as how do we make sure we support those women that are going to go out on maternity leave and maybe come back after a few weeks or a few months? So Salesforce is a partner with the Anita Borg Institute. The Anita Borg Institute is an awesome nonprofit that really works with women in technology. It's the one that runs the Grace Hopper Conference every year, which is a technical conference for women. And I was at a partner meeting with them a couple of weeks ago, and we were discussing this very issue. And the partner meeting was with women executives from other technical companies as well. And the story of this talk of mentorship came up. And in fact, there's a couple of organizations, a couple of companies that have actually set up a formal mentorship program so that the women who are about to go out on maternity leave for the first time get partnered up with someone who's done it before, right? And apparently it's working very well for these companies. And these women will support, the women who experienced in this really support the women who are about to go out for the first time before their maternity leave, during their maternity leave, and most importantly, after their maternity leave. And I think it's, making such a difference. And I want to learn from these other companies to do something similar at Salesforce. And it's interesting, we had the pleasure of talking to Megan Smith after her talk this morning, and she talks about them doing something similar at Google, and they call it a returnship, which I thought was kind of cool. But I think no matter what, if you've got a formal program or not, you do need to, for those of us that have been through it, we need to support and reach out to the women who are about to go through it, right? But then there's the woman that takes several years off, right? And what happens is that's an amazing untapped community. I'm sure Cheryl shares the struggles with trying to find engineers in Silicon Valley. It's a hot market. And it's just so crazy that there's an amazing group of very smart women out there that can't find work. And I'm not suggesting that every mum returning to work is going to be able to get, a job at Intuit. But we need to do a better job of supporting them. And thankfully, there's a lot of coding boot camps out there now, and I'm using tech, right? But there's an organisation called Hackbright Academy. They offer a 10 to 12 week course where actually they have non-technical women moving into technical fields. And in fact, companies like Twitter and Facebook, these women end up getting jobs at these companies. Oh, and Intuit, and so it's an awesome boot camp. And Facebook provide a scholarship for a woman returning to the workforce. So Intuit provide a scholarship that's fantastic. I did not know that. So maybe more companies need to do that. And then there's another organisation called Mother Coders, and what they do is they aren't going to make programmers out of the women returning to the workforce, but they help teach them technical skills to get them just technically savvy again. And they offer daycare, just smart things like that, because that's specifically targeted at women who really want to return to the workforce. So I think we've got a long way to go. Loving hearing that companies like Intuit are doing that. And, we just need to do a better job of supporting women getting back into the workforce.